Hey everybody, how you doing? This is TatiaOlds with eXp Realty. I am your real estate matchmaker and advisor. I want to speak with you today in reference to foreclosures. So, around 2020, the banks were offering their mortgagees forbearance. Right? Some people took advantage of that forbearance, and those that took advantage of the forbearance, some of you did not read the fine print, and some didn't ask the right questions. Some didn't even know that they needed to ask, a certain question. And that question is, how am I going to repay this? And a lot of the lenders during that time were requiring you to pay back that 6 months in one lump sum. So if you owed $1,000 a month, then you owed $6,000 at the end of that 6 month period. And if you didn't have that because you still were not gainfully employed or for whatever reason, they then started that foreclosure process, right? So in Georgia, usually takes about 2 years before they actually actively begin to foreclose. You'll begin to get letters and everything like that, right? And so towards the middle of 2022, people begin to get those letters. They begin to post you in the legal organ for the county, and then they foreclose on you. They sell your home on the courthouse steps to the highest bidder. I spent the better part of my morning making phone calls, right? To try to prevent that from happening to some people. But I also spent the better part of my morning getting hung up on, right? So I decided, let me just talk to the people, okay? Every time a realtor calls you, I don't want you thinking, oh, they just want a commission, right? You don't go to work every day and expect not to get paid at the end of the week, do you? So it's the same thing for us. We do a lot of things and give a lot of information out for free, complimentary, just as I'm doing right now, right? And there are other things that we do for you that require payment. So myself, from the start of my career, I worked with people who never thought they could actually possibly achieve home ownership. I aligned myself with lenders that thought outside of the box, that had special programs for middle income, low income buyers. And we got it done. Listen, I've sold $35,000 homes. There's no great commission in that. But what's better is the feeling that you get, that when you see that this person is so excited that they were just able to get, and this is way back in the day, right? A $35,000 home that was a 3-4 bedroom, 2.5 bath, 2-story, 2-car garage home, and all it needed was a little carpet, some appliances, some paint, right? And I knew how they could make that happen without having to come out of their pocket anymore. Okay, and so to see them get into these homes that needed this work, right? And some needed a lot more. But that's just the kind of agent I am. I like to help people. So when an agent calls you, there's a lot of others out there that do this for the satisfaction of helping people. So when a real estate agent calls you because you're in default of your mortgage, right? Listen to them. Feel out the spirit of that agent. Don't just hang up on that real estate agent because you're going through. I understand that this is a trying time. Nobody wants to be sought after. When you're going through something like this, you don't want to feel like, everybody is just trying to be a vulture and pick at you and get what they can get. Some of us really are trying to help you, because one thing I do know is that if you bought your house back in 2006, and even if you bought your house in 2018, you got a boatload of equity. And the option that you don't have or that you shouldn't have, the option that you shouldn't consider is giving your home back to the lender with all the option you have built, with all the equity, that you have built in your home over those years. You might be in default for $100,000. But in the last 2 years, values have, in some areas, more than doubled. So maybe you owe $150,000, but guess what? Your house might be worth $300,000. And you're telling me that you're just gonna be angry and be defeated and allow the banks to take back your home and take all of that equity from you. I know you thinking, I don't have anywhere to go. I can't afford to buy another house, or my credit is messed up now because I've been in default for so long and I can't afford to purchase a home. Oh, the rental rates are sky high. Yes, they are. But guess what? If you sit and do nothing and allow them to sell your home on the courthouse steps, then you've got to do all of that. One of those options you've got to take. You got to rent. You got to figure out how to buy something, and you can't do that with credit for another 2 years from the date that your home went into foreclosure, or actually from the date that the foreclosure was filed. And sometimes these banks can take up to a whole year to file once they foreclosed on you. Okay? And so my thing is, if you got to rent, at least be comfortable. At least have those funds available to you through the equity of your home. So the next time a real estate agent calls you and say, hey, this is TatiaOlds with eXp Realty. I would like to have a conversation with you because I've seen that your home is in default. I would love to talk strategy. I would love to help you. I would love to see how we can get you out of this, because the one option that should not be considered is giving your home back to the bank with all of your equity in it. So if you know of someone who is going through this, if you know another agent, reach out, find out what your options are, get some kind of help. Because to just sit there and do nothing because you're hurt, because you're angry, you're feeling lost, you gotta get up and do what the good Lord has told you to do. Because guess what? Prayer without works is dead. You gotta take action. You all have a blessed day.